Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Jordan here, bringing you episode 7 of our Saskatoon Bison Draft to Glory. It's only been one day. I don't even think actually a full 24 hours yet since I. So, first comment to go over here from Scottish Terrier Lover. He lets us know that Liam Pugh has gone up from medium elite to high elite. So, we're going to go take a look at our contracts here. I never noticed that. But yeah, he is right here. You can see Liam Pugh, 84 overall now. You can see there he is that high elite. He did have an okay sophomore season. Obviously, a lot better than his rookie season, I would say. And Kuznetsov there up to an 86. We do have to re-sign Kuznetsov. So that's something we'll take care of a little bit later. But you can see Siegel up to an 89. Tezzolino's an 83. Sutter, he's at that 80. He needs a new deal. This is going to be a good offseason, I think, in terms of getting some growth. We're getting more and more NHL ready players. Like, this is going to be a very good season for us upcoming. Uploaded episode 6. But guys, I am just having too much fun with this series. So I waited a little bit. I did get a couple of comments. We will go over there shortly. But I'm hopping right back into it here. As long as I'm still enjoying this series as much as I am right now, I'm going to be bringing you guys an episode of this every other day. And then in between, I'm going to try to get some more beer pros in, maybe some more hot stuff, and definitely going to be bringing back Puck Dynasty this week as well. And then his other comment says that we need to draft either Zinger, who is that DFD, or Kerman, but that if we get Kerman, we can put him with McKenna and Pugh. That gets you that playmaker, sniper, power forward combo. And then in the next draft, we can look for a DFD, which I do agree. I was personally leaning more towards Rammer because my thought was you split up Rammer and McKenna, right? Then you've got Kuznetsov, he's got a playmaker, and then Pugh's got a playmaker. But I actually do like thinking about it. I really do like the idea of going for Kerman. So that's who we're going to be drafting today. We will wait until next draft to, or just future drafts in general, to get that DFD. So here, guys, without further ado, let's just get right into the draft. So here we are. You can see here the Sens have the first pick. And yet, no surprise, they bring home Lundqvist, the franchise sniper. He's going to be great for them. And now the Saskatoon Bison are going to walk up to the podium with the second pick in the 2030 NHL entry draft. The Saskatoon Bison are proud to select from HBK in the Liga, Tommy Kerman. So there we go, guys. We got our center. Now we've got two if we need, but for sure now we've got that top line now with Kerman, Pugh, and McKenna. And then from here, we just need to start finding some players to play with Kuznetsov. So here we are, pick 34. We do have some pins here, guys. Let's take a look and see. You've got Trevor Anderson. He's a 5'11 sniper. You've got Percy. He's a 5'9 sniper. We're going to pass here on Pavel just because he's an OFD. We have too many of them already. So here, guys, I'm looking at Ivan Kaminsky. Now, he is ranked 37th. He's a playmaker. He is a little bit small. So you can see there his skating, his physical, his defense is not as good as, say, shooting his puck skills. He's a 3 years ETA from the NHL, similar style to Brad Marchand. But I just feel like if he's going to be a playmaker, right, that's huge for us to get another playmaker there in the top 6. So, guys, I think we're just going to go with one of our pins. It's between Anderson and Percy for me. You know, guys, I'm going to risk it here. We're going to take the 5'9 low elite sniper from NLA, Sean Percy. Hopefully he can be good for us. He's about 3 years ETA, so I expect him to be in the 60s. Sorting again by potential here, just seeing kind of what's out here, if there's any low top 6 forwards still. You know what, guys? We're just going to take a shot in the dark here. Dominic Reichel, he's 6'4", 211 pounds. Hopefully he's a DFD. We don't know a lot this draft, so it is just going to be a lot of shots in the dark. Here we go. We got this gem who's a sniper. You know, since he's a gem, I would expect him to be around like low elite, medium top six forwards. So I'm not too mad at that. We're going to reach here for this goalie. Hopefully he can be guaranteed medium elite for us. And now here, we don't really know a whole lot. There's not a lot to draft. If we sort by who's available, you can see there's not a lot that we know. We are just going to stick to taking some forwards here. So I'm going to see if maybe we sort by forwards, if there's any guaranteed playmakers. So guys, I pinned a few of the guaranteed playmakers. We've got these two bottom six forwards from Europe. You can see they're SHL players. We're going to reach here on this guy just because he is 18. The other guy is 19, so this guy's a year younger. And now with our last pick here in the draft, we already took a goalie. We really just need forwards. Let's see if we've got anything here. Why not? We'll take Bobrovsky. He is that top 9 medium, so you never know what can happen there. Not the best draft, but honestly not the worst draft. Again, now we know that we have to send the scouts out in February every single year, or we're not going to get the results we want. So yeah, just a quick refresher at our draft class here, guys. You got Kerman, Reichel, low elite Percy. You've got Bobrovsky, Kravchenko, and Franson. I'm really hoping Kravchenko can be something. He was that gem. I mean, he's got good size. I like that he's a sniper. I really hope he can be something for us. So we're going to go ahead. We'll get all these guys signed as well as go over our expiring contracts. This is a big year for us, guys, with Kuznetsov and Suter both expired. Krog up to a 70. I mean, he's going to the AHL. I think he needs some better ice time, maybe some better talent. I don't know. But Koivu's up to a 70. You can see Cullen up to a 68. So I'm going to go through, guys, re-sign everybody, and write down what their overalls are right now so we can compare that once we know what they've grown to about a month into the season. All right, guys, quickly, just want to show you Kuznetsov's contract. We offered him 10.575 for 8 years, and thrown in that no-move clause, he did accept that. And then I will as well show you guys Suter's contract, 3.5 mil for 8 years. I think that's a steal for this player. Again, he's low elite. He is a playmaker. I do believe that this guy is going to be an elite talent for us. He's already 80 overall at 20 years old. He's just getting started. He's going to be unreal. So to get him locked up for cheap, that's going to look like one of the best contracts in the league in 2 or 3 years. The other thing I want to highlight here is Grigori and Devin. I gave them both 1-year deals. We did have to sign DeMarchi, so we have 6 goalies under contract. Petrov, he didn't play at all last year. That's why he's unknown. I believe he's like backup potential or fringe starter. Either way, this guy's never gonna pan out. He's not gonna play again this year, and we will let him go for free. We'll let him go free next year because we have our 5 goalies, and really we have our 4 goalies: DeMarchi, Grigori, Devin, and Semenov. These are the 4 guys we're gonna run. Even Emelin's gonna sit this year because DeMarchi is already better overall than him, and he's got higher potential. Like, DeMarchi's who we need to develop. I don't think anyone's gonna really argue that. And again, Boris Semenov, already 75 overall. He's gonna be the starter probably for another year or 2 at least before DeMarchi's even in the NHL, let alone ready to be the starter. Also, guys, I'm just noticing this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Kirk Jonas last episode was low elite. He's also grown to medium elite. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was low elite. There's not anything else left to do now. The only thing I will say is I forgot in the last episode we were supposed to get a new coach. In this episode, we will do that. We'll take a look at that in the regular season. We'll wait until we know our full roster. So we'll probably wait till like November, December, but then we will take a look. And again, we will be on the lookout for coaches being fired. All right, so we just finished preseason. Let me take you guys into the lines so you can see what we're working with here. Again, this was only for preseason. I wanted to know what some of our drafted players were right away. You can see here Percy, he's that low elite. He's 68 overall, so he's not as far off as you would think. Kravchenko is a 61, so he's a little bit farther away, and we don't know his potential yet. Kerman, though, 78 overall, up to a third checking line forward, just the way his stats are, I guess. So he should have a good season there, centering Pugh and McKenna. Franzen looks like to be in the 50s. Chung a 72, Lieutenant a 77. Marcel, he shouldn't be up here. He'll be in the minors. Hillen's up to 61. You got Krog, still a 70. And with Gallagher there, we're not quite sure, but he's still around that 68. And defensively, everybody is known. Reichel, this guy, so a bit of a bust, especially for where we took him, being only a top 6D. But it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. Moran, up to a 74. He's going to be in the NHL, I think, next season. Curtis, up to a 73. Same thing with him. Koryaluk, Ovechkin, and Mikanov there, all in the low 70s. And goalies, Devin is a 75, and Boris is a 76. Both listed as backup goalies. We do have Grigori. We're going to let him be in the AHL. Now, let me go ahead and show you guys what our NHL lines are going to be for the regular season. All right, guys, so after a little bit of work, here's what the NHL lines look like. Line 1, McKenna, Kerman, Pugh. I know Kerman's only 78, but, you know, that's what we needed for that first line. I'm expecting this line to go off this year, and hopefully Kerman to be in the running for the Calder. Second line, Kuznetsov, Lieutenant, and Suter. And this is officially a top 6, all with NHL players. You can see fourth line forward, depth forward, that still counts for me. Pugh, third line scorer, third line checking, first line forward. So our top 6 for the first time, it's all NHL talent. All right, so you see we've got Malik Gallagher here. We're going to give him the chance. Remember, he's at top 6 low forward. Hopefully him playing up here on the third line in the NHL gives him that boost to his overall and potential with Heikkinen and Cullen. Then on the fourth line, we've got Gaucher, who he's a fourth line forward, bottom 6 potential. This is what he's going to be. You know, it's where he fits best on the team, really. So we're going to leave him there. And he's with Krog and Jonas. And I want Jonas to play because he is only still WHL eligible, meaning if we send him down, he plays in the WHL. And I want to have as many of my drafted players playing as I can. And our scratch is Julius Chung. And if we don't get any injuries this year, maybe we'll send him down or he just sits. It's honestly fine either way. And goalie-wise, we've got Semenov and Devin. There's just going to be the 1-2 this year. And Grigori, and we've got to swap out Emelin for Domarchi. That's going to be the AHL tandem this year. All right, so here is the AHL forward lines. I tried to do this, getting a drafted player on every line, as well as making sure there was no minuses. You can see here we pretty much have all drafted players, but the first line there, Percy and Masterlurski. You've got Kravchenko, and that's it for the second line. We've got Bobrovsky, Delarouve on the third line, and then the fourth line, it's all drafted players, Hillen, Franzen, and Odelian. Defensively, Moran and Curtis, Bitz, Koryaluk, Henley, Volchenkov. Hopefully they're going to do some work for us this year. And in the NHL, I forgot, I didn't show this, but we've got Tuzlino and Siegel. Because they get a +2, we're going to rock that. Swanson, Mikanov, and Koivu, and Ovechkin. And this is going to be the last year in the NHL for lower overall players. Because you could see here, like, Moran and Curtis are probably going to be better off than Mikanov, Ovechkin, and Koivu in the NHL. But we don't know exactly what Koivu is yet. I want to give these guys all one more chance. And again, I think Moran and Curtis are better off with one more year in the AHL. The captaincies have not changed at all, guys. Still Siegel rocking that C, and McKenna, and I believe Gaucher have the assistant captains, and we're just gonna sim the first 2 months of the season, see how well we can do. I'm honestly really excited for this season. I think it's gonna be our best season yet as we open off with a win against Buffalo. Obviously, our roster I think is still a long ways away from playoffs, just in terms of getting that growth. And we can take an early look at the draft class here, and we don't know anything except for Henrik Zetterberg is elite potential. Interesting. Again, we should probably still be a lottery team. Again, I'd be very shocked if we make the playoffs. This year, it's all about having the best season we've ever had, like hitting that 20 win mark, as well as just, again, the personal growth for the players. That's what really matters here. Is, we end the first month 3-7, not too shabby, honestly. 3 wins to start a year might be the most wins we've had in 1 month. And there we go. Now it's slowly starting to drop off. The biggest thing is, as long as the offense is still there, that means guys like McKenna and Pugh are getting the points they need to continue to grow. And quite quickly, this went from looking like a very good season to very bad. That's just what it's going to be, right? You can start the year off hot, but when you have such a bad roster, this is just how it's going to look. As we managed to win 3 out of our last 4 there before dropping to Vegas. But the points are there. I would say lots of those wins, we had 2 or 3 goals. And yeah, Gavin McKenna already, you can see there with 25 points. We're not going to look too in depth at the stats here. We just want to compare overalls. Kerman actually already down to a 77. That's interesting. But I'm just going to be looking over here at my notepad, and we're just going to be doing some comparing here. McKenna up 2 overall to that 92. Same thing with Pugh is up 2 overall. Kuznetsov as well, 2 overall. Suter, he's up 3 overall. Gallagher, he was 68, so he's up 2 overall as well. See, Krog, now up to a 75, and he is a grinder. He fits that third line. So he's going to switch there with Cullen because he is way better overall wise than I thought he was going to be. He's a top 6 forward. We want to give him a chance. Jonas, he's up 3 overall to a 64. Cullen here was 68, so only up 1. And Gaucher, he is up 1 as well. Defensively, Siegel still at 89 that we knew he was. Tuzzolino up to an 84. Swanson, he was 77, so he's up 2 overall. Mikanov is a 73. Koivu's actually down in overall, which is unfortunate. And Ovechkin, he was 71, so he's up 1. And our goalies are still the same. In the AHL, Domarchi up to a 71 already. That is really good. Grigori, he's that 75. It's interesting, though, the roles. He's a minor backup, but he's a minor starter. So that's kind of interesting. You can see here, all these guys are exactly where we thought they were. I think Odelian maybe is the only one who didn't play, and he's only up 1 overall. And guys, while we are stopped here in the simulation, we are going to go ahead and look at our coaching staff. We needed some NHL coaches. I guess I forgot about that. It's fine for this year. It is what it is. But we'll just take a look and see here at NHL head coaches. Tockett's interesting. Fits all the right guys pretty much just good enough that I want to give him a chance. Lane Lambert, it's not even close on the team fit for me. So yeah, guys, we're actually going to go ahead here and give Rick Tocchet a contract to be an NHL head coach. I wasn't expecting to make an offer right now, but honestly, with how well he fits, that's perfectly fine for me. And all we're going to do is we're going to demote him to NHL assistant coach, and then we'll just make him the interim coach so that if Rick Tocchet signs with us, we still have Blashill. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead, just take a quick look at the lines. We might have to edit the 3rd and 4th line just based off team fit. And yeah, for sure, lines are going to have to be changed just a little bit here. All right, guys, defensively, nothing had to change, but I just swapped the third and fourth lines around a little bit. We're going to be stuck with this minus. It is what it is. Again, I don't want to send Jonas down. We could probably call somebody else up if Jonas was AHL eligible. It'll be interesting to see what changing a coach mid-season does to our team. Again, he's a much better coach, so hopefully that does help us win a few more games. And again, as long as the offense is there for our top guys, that's really all I care about now. But we're 7, 18, and 3, easily the best start we've had to a season. Make that 7, 20, and 3. Again, I'm really hoping we hit 20 wins this year after getting 17. There's back-to-back wins there. That's pretty nice. And again, it's just a guessing game really at this point on how long it's going to take for us to become like a playoff team. Again, we need a goalie. Like, we're not making the playoffs, I would say, with a goalie that's lower than 80 overall. Defensively, I would say we need to get a few more high 70 players. And again, the forwards is where we really need work. Again, that's where we're going to draft the most. And when we stop the sim in February, that's where I'm going to send all the scouts out, is mostly drafting forwards. Or scouting forwards, sorry. But damn, I think that's the first time we got 3 wins in a row. So that's really nice to see. So we're going to take a quick look at the draft class. There you go. Don't know much yet, but Bates, center, playmaker, similar style to Wayne Gretzky. Man, I would love to win the lottery just one last time. Because if we add him, dude, then we're really going to take off in our top 6. That would be very nice. You see, we still don't really know too much. We're going to pin this guy because he's a DFD. Again, I doubt that we're going to draft him, though. Hopefully. Okay, but we do actually have Schroeder here as well. He's the DFD. So maybe we get the second pick and we draft Schroeder. But yeah, 3 wins in a row, 4 wins in a row. So we're 14 and 29 with 4 overtime wins. Man, this is a great year. The fellas are starting to heat up a little bit here, starting to get some wins. That was easily our best month. We're continuing that off with a nice 3-2 win in February. And now it could be 2 more episodes maybe before we're competing. Like, it could be year number 10 before we make the playoffs. But you can see there, we'll take a look at the standings. You can see 40 points we've gotten right there. So we're only 6 points behind the lowest team in the division that isn't us. Like, we're finally catching up to the bottom teams, which is very nice to see. That just means we're getting closer and closer. And again, we keep adding really elite level talent. We've had a top 4 pick every year. So that helps a lot too. So you can see there, we have 44 points. The Blues have 50. The Flames have 46. And the Panthers have 50. So we might not even be the worst team this year. So that's also really nice to see, as we hit our goal of 20 wins. We hit that in February. We still have a month and a half to go. So that's very nice. This is where we'll take a more in-depth look at the stats. And McKenna, 68 points in 62 games. You know, Kerman is not doing as good, but shout out to the Scottish Terrier lover, because that was obviously the right play. Pugh and McKenna are having career years. Even Kuznetsov with 44 points already. You know, he should easily be able to eclipse this 54. So that's our top 3 forwards having career years. Suter's got 41 points. Again, this is a career year for him, and it's just going to keep getting better. You've got Kerman here with 35 as a rookie. That's solid. Lutonen up with 35 points as well. He had 47 last year. It looks like that'll be around where he tops out this year as well. Siegel, I'd say it's a little bit of a down year, but him and Tezzolino, again, offensive defensemen playing together, that's going to happen. Same thing, Swanson there. And then these bottom tier guys, again, happy to see Gallagher having 11 goals in his first NHL season, up to a 71. But other than that, there's not a lot to highlight here. Again, Krog, he's a grinder. I guess he's just not going to put up the offense. And then taking a look at the goaltenders, Boris Semenov is going to be the first goalie, hopefully, to have a 900 save percentage. You can see there, he's got that 906. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, and even Devin's numbers for the backup are right there with Semenov, not too far behind. So it's just really exciting. And I think this is why I'm so like wanting to record this so much, is because we're just getting closer. You know, the first few episodes, you know, it's going to be bad. Like, you just know. And there's not a lot of hope on that horizon, right? Because your team is just so low overall. It just takes so much time for players to grow. But here we are. This is episode 6 or 7. Sorry, I don't exactly know which one. I believe it's 7. We're in year 7, and finally the depth guys even are starting to show some growth, and it's just an awesome feeling. Well, we're gonna go ahead here. We'll look quickly at the draft class, even though we did just recently. You can see we still don't know too much about the top end, so we're just gonna go ahead here. I'm gonna jump ahead, but I will go through the scouts and send them all out, and we'll scout as many forwards as possible. All right, guys, the scouts are sent out. Mostly scouting forwards. Again, in the top like 10 picks, I'm trying to scout all those defensemen, because if there's a medium elite DFD, I think, you know, we kind of have to go for that. Again, you guys will have to let me know your thoughts on that, but that's just kind of where my head's at. And then if they weren't in the top 10, I only scouted forwards, unless it's a smaller league and my scout could scout all the forwards as well as the defensemen, but that was very few leagues. And we're already setting our team record here. We're 22-42. It's the most wins. A big win there against the Penguins, 7-4. Back-to-back wins there as well, with the win against the Flyers. And there we go, 3 wins again. I believe that's the second time this year. 4 wins again. That's the longest win streak, is 4 wins. It's unfortunate we couldn't get it to 5 here. The fellas are going to be looking for 30 wins. I think that's a next year achievement. But hey, we hit 20 a lot faster than I would have thought. I would have thought it'd been coming down to the wire. And there we go, another shutout. And we end the year with a 2-1 loss in the shootout to the 50-win Montreal Canadiens. We are once again the worst team in the league, but the Flames are only ahead of us by 4. The Blues ended up pulling away from us quite a bit. 7 points down on the Panthers, and then the Blue Jackets again pulled away from us. But guys, this is such a good year. I'm so happy. Like, I wasn't expecting this. We'll take a look at the in-depth stats here. 81 points from McKenna, almost a point per game. Pugh, 73 points. Kuznetsov breaking out with 60. Sutter with 52. Lutonen hits 50. He had 47 last year. He is down to a minor checking forward from that 4th line. And Siegel, 44. Kerman, solid rookie year, guys. He had 17 points in the Liga. Jumps up straight to the NHL as an 18-year-old. Potts, 42. You know, that's what we were looking for. I would have expected Pugh to maybe score a few more goals, but you know, it is what it is. I'll take a look here. Tuzzolino with 34. So he had 1 more point than last season. But if you take a look, guys, the plus minuses are getting way better. Like, McKenna and Pugh are not even in the double digits for plus minus. Same with Kerman. Obviously, as we go down the lineup and the skill is worse, you can see the plus minus gets worse. But what would you expect, right? Just wanted to see if Koivu had gone up. He stays down. Jonas, I want to see. He's up to a 67. So that's really nice. He got some good growth. And he will benefit from a full year in the AHL for sure. Krog, I'm just curious. He's up to a 76. Okay. Goalies, huge season from Boris. 907 save percentage. That's really good. And that goals against average is coming down. And Devin, as the backup, had respectable numbers for our team. And we'll take a look quickly through the league. So Lundqvist as well at 18, turning 19. Hobson, he's probably going to win the Calder. Frazee, I believe he was drafted last year by Chicago. He looks to be pretty good there. Look at those X factors. So Kerman was a little bit down, but honestly, for the caliber of team he's on, this is a really good rookie year. Goalies here, we're just going to take a guess. I say, for me, probably Thompson winning the Vesna, just because he has more shutouts than Gustafson and better numbers in both categories. Defensively, you've got Cale Makar, baby, 91 points. I could see Hughes, though, sneaking away with the Norris. He's now in Dallas, again, just because of that plus minus. If you look at all skaters, Matthews and McDavid tied for the Art Ross. I don't know who will win it. I know Matthews here also winning the Rocket Trophy with 66. So hopefully McDavid, just so that they can be spread out there. And then Makar, Marner, and Hughes all right there with 77 and 76 assists. So taking a look at the AHL team, I just had to sim one more game to get that season done. We did not make the playoffs. I believe that's the first time in 3 years. And honestly, it's to be expected when we lose so much of our offensive talent. But Kirill Koryaluk, it's his first year in the AHL. He puts up big numbers there. Master Lursky, he was drafted by us. Moran had a really good season, up to a 77. Like next year, guys, I don't think we're going to be the worst team in the league. I'm going to say it now because we're getting some reinforcements here. Percy, already up to 69. He's going to be maybe in the low to mid 70s. Let's take a look here at Volchenkov. He's 69. Delarouve, he's up to a 65. Curtis, he hasn't grown yet. And then Bits, he's the other one I'm really curious. He's up to a 70. Reinforcements are coming. It's my hot take right now that we will not be the worst team in the league next year. Grigori, still that minor backup, 30 wins, 27 losses. DeMarchi up to a 71. He's an other goalie. So it looks like maybe because in preseason, teams have weird rosters, it was showing false information on player roles. Now we have a much better idea. We're just going to sim right up to the draft. I will catch you guys back up once we see who the league champions are. And shout out to the Machine TV because his Philadelphia Flyers have won the Stanley Cup. And for the third year in a row, the Eagles have won the Calder Cup. And we move down from 1 to 3. Calgary moves up as well as Florida. That is too bad. But we should be able to get a really good forward in this draft. So taking a look at the draft class to end off this episode, you can see we had Schroeder pinned. He's going to go before we can draft. But we also have Paul Wolf here. He is also a DFD. They're both right-handed, so I guess it really would not have mattered in that regard. I would have liked to get a left-handed player, but again, this is kind of what we need. Is a DFD. You can see the scheme fit there. He shoot and hold the line. Well, we will for sure go take a look at our coach to see if our coach matches that. Maybe that's how we know who to draft. And then, so we have this medium elite two-way forward who I want to avoid. I'm not the biggest fan of two-way forwards. It says he's got pro release. He's got quick release as well. But again, I'm not big on two-way forwards. Personally, I'd rather add Henrik Zetterberg. He's NHL ready. He's probably realistically 75 to 78 overall. But he's a playmaker and a good one at that. Could be very nice alongside Lutunen and Kuznetsov. And then Green here, we're not going to be able to get him probably. But he is a DFD. And then just simply sorting by potential. There's potentially our DFD. He's 5 years away, unfortunately, but he is guaranteed medium elite. We will be drafting him 100,000%. We'll take a look here. And there you go. There's another DFD. Again, 5 years ETA. But that's a DFD low elite. You've got to take that, right? We'll see here about any steals. I doubt there's going to be any real big steals. We'll just see if there's any top 4Ds outside of the first round to pin. It doesn't look like it. And then just taking a look in goal. Nothing guaranteed. I think we could go a season without drafting a goalie. We just drafted a medium elite goalie, hopefully, in the last draft, as well as our pipeline is very well stocked on goalies. But we will quickly take a look at our coach to see if he matches with Paul Wolf. All right, so you can see there our coach's pinch, cycle, and then balanced. He would fit the second pair just because the balance, so it would be 2 yellows, but he does not fit the first pair. So I think, guys, we should probably draft Zetterberg. Again, we have defensive like backup coming. Moran, he'll be in the NHL next year. Like, we can even take a look at our contracts right now while we're talking about this. You can see Pugh up to an 89. Man, this guy's going to cost me a fortune. Jesus. If we look at what he wants on an 8-year deal, he wants $22 million. We're going to have to talk about that. Probably we'll go with a 4-year deal or a 3-year deal. You can see Suter up to an 85. Tezolino up to an 85. Swanson 79. Kerman and Lutonen probably grow in the offseason. Moran up to a 77. Krog is 76. Like, there's hope in the land, guys. We are getting that backup, especially on the defensive end. It's coming, like with Moran being a 77. You know, Curtis, he'll make the jump to the NHL. Hopefully Mikanov and Ovechkin can get some growth. And Bits, I mean, I don't think Bits is going to get there. He's already 23. He's only a 70. So I think next year we play Bits in the NHL, and hopefully he gets a big jump from that. And then, yeah, forward-wise, we've got our top 6 there with McKenna, Kuznetsov, Pugh, Suter, Kerman, Lutonen. And just adding Zetterberg is going to push like a Lutonen down. You can only make our lineup better. Hopefully Krog can get some more growth. Gallagher's only 20 years old. When you look in the system, like Percy, he's going to be mid to low 70s. Jonas is going to be mid to low 70s. Like, there's lots of talent here. I'm excited for the future of this team. I really am. I think we are in the best position to finally not be the worst team in the league. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. This could be a long one. I will tell you guys, I've been recording for pretty much an hour and a half. Again, the episodes will continue to get longer and longer. But once we make the playoffs, guys, after that first season, we make the playoffs, like we know, okay, we're a playoff team year in, year out. I will not show as much of the regular season. I will show a lot less because no matter where we are in the series, whether we make the playoffs or not, my preference is that each season be one episode from, again, June 20th straight to June 20th, essentially. Just a calendar year. That's my preference. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this down below. Would you guys prefer to continue with, no matter what, one season is one episode and I show a little bit less so that the time stays the same? Or would you prefer that once we made the playoffs, we do 2 episodes per season where we do the draft, re-sign phase, and the entire regular season in one episode, and then we do the playoffs in a second episode? You know, my only issues with that is we might only make it to round 1. So if we don't make it to round 2, it's a very short video. You know, and it's going to be very awkward for me to cut it, like to record it all and then cut it into 2 videos, because I might want your guys' perspective if we're going to do 2 videos where how should we do the lines for the playoffs and all these things. So my preference is 1 video with less regular season, but let me know what you guys think. Again, as well, let me know what you guys think for the draft. I'm leaning towards Henrik Zetterberg. Again, sorry for the longer episode, guys. I am really chatty in these, but that's just the way I like it. I like to talk a lot and really dive deep into what I'm doing. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I appreciate your love and support so much. Again, guys, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I do read every comment. I will feature as many comments as I can at the start of every episode as long as I'm getting them. Thank you so much for watching YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.